Whoa, whoa, wee, whoa.
The overall market, aka the S&P 500, just hit and closed at a new record high. Winner, winner, chicken dinner, the world's largest casino pays again. In this video, I'm going to be breaking down why the S&P 500 is poised to continue its trip to the upside, but wait, there's more. Not only will I be breaking down why the overall market will keep most likely skyrocketing, but I want to get into a little bit of a discussion, a little bit of a chit chat about Tesla stock, ticker symbol TSLA, and why I personally believe that this one is uniquely positioned to go even higher. I want to let you know from the onset that this isn't going to be a breakdown of politics or overall fundamental vibes. No, in this one, I'm really gearing it towards short-term swing traders, and I want to get into the metrics. What's going on with technicals, with charting, with the options flow, and what catalysts do we have that, once again, in the short term, could send both the overall market and more specifically Tesla to new heights. Of course, if you enjoy these type of market discussions, and really more specifically, these financial nerdy stats, facts, and figure breakdowns where we get into the nitty gritty of it, let me know by hitting that like button. Don't forget to subscribe. And if you want to help me out with that algorithm overlord that runs my life, give me a shout out in the chat below, even something as simple as saying hi, or hey, let me know your favorite ticker. Whatever one you're watching, let me know in a comment below. With all that being said, let's rock. Goodbye September and hello October. The bulls are on parade. The market just closed as I'm filming this, and here's the official headline. S&P 500 rises to a new record, reversing earlier losses as traders bet on short-lived shutdown. So the overall market, the S&P 500, just hit and closed at a new record high. A massive congrats to you if you played it. Pretty much a similar situation in the Nasdaq, hitting and closing at a new all-time high, and even Bitcoin, though not at a new all-time high, a higher low, a nice bullish technical breakout, and we're going to see if we're going to double top or get the follow through at 118,000. Obviously, these are the daily charts, and you can get the general gist of the trend that, yes, the bulls are in control. On an intraday basis, we started off pretty weak this morning and then just pretty much ripped all day. We saw that in the SPY, we saw that in the Qs, we saw it a little bit in the Russell, a little bit more lethargic over there, and pretty much a similar situation in the world's biggest crypto, aka Bitcoin. So not only do we see that in price action, but I just want to let you know from an options flow standpoint, things really got going at 1 p.m. today. The S&P 500 exploded, and really looking at the Mag 7, the combination of Apple, Amazon, Google, Meta, Microsoft, Nvidia, and Tesla, pretty much from 10 a.m. to the conclusion of the day, the bulls were showing the bears who is boss. So with respect to the overall market, the hot news is the government shutdown, which I guess for some reason the market is loving. Another U.S. government shutdown is here. Why it keeps happening? Well, I can tell you the answer to that, because the people, all of us, collectively vote into office. Well, they have the social development of toddlers who are screaming at each other all day and never can actually get anything done. But for whatever reason, the market is stoked that we don't have to hear from them from a little bit, I guess. I don't know. I'm just guessing there. Prediction market sees government shutdown lasting nearly 2 weeks. According to Kohrs, we're seeing that right now the prediction is around 10 days, 10.1 days is kind of where we're at. The odds have changed. We were pretty low, and now we're starting to spike up, coming down a little bit. Another way to look at this is on Poly Market. You can see that there's a 37% chance that we will be close to October 15th or later. A little bit before that, 28% chance, and it being very short term, well, it's either 28 or 9%, respectively, looking at October 6th to the 9th, or the smallest case, October 3rd to the 5th. So it looks like at minimum, we're going to be dealing with these shenanigans for at least 2 weeks, which is kind of problematic because we were expecting initial jobless claims tomorrow, Thursday, October 2nd, and on Friday, we were expecting non-farm payrolls, the unemployment rate, but now, as you can see, they were taken off the schedule because if the government shut down, BLS isn't doing its work, and if they're not doing their work, we're not going to get the jobs numbers, and if we don't get the jobs numbers and that lasts for a while, that means who knows what in the world is going to happen at the end of this month, where we have a scheduled, ideally, a rate cut from the FOMC and from the Fed, but as of right now, we don't know when the government's opening back up. So as I alluded to earlier, and I was kind of half-heartedly joking about, this shutdown, you can interpret it to be bullish or bearish. My point, when we get these kind of narrative updates, you might have an opinion, but you never know if the market's going to agree with you. Maybe something you interpret to be bullish, well, the market in general thinks it's bearish, or vice versa. We've seen those examples all the time. So I think it's far easier to just look at not only price action and options flow, but key levels. And when I say key levels, yes, talking about key, just psychological levels, like for example, S&P 500, 6,700. On top of that, you could look at key technical levels from a charting perspective, upside gap fills, downside gap fills, recent breakouts, breakdowns. The other thing you can look at is what in the world is going on with options, and this is what I find to be the most fascinating. As of market close, S&P 500, 6,718. Please remember that, because you're going to realize that we are pretty much just on the right side, the bullish side of this node right here, 6,690. There's a huge positive gamma area at 6,750. Since we're on the south side of it, that's going to be resistance. But what's interesting is if we can get above, if we can close above, all of a sudden, we go from all this positive gamma, we start to fall down the gamma mountain, and we can actually tilt negative as we get closer and closer to 6,800. What's fascinating about being in negative gamma is that's where you get gamma squeezes. I don't want to bore you with the details, but it basically means that whatever direction you're going, and obviously this direction would be bullish, you just really get going that way because the market makers, it's the functionality of how they hedge out their book. So I do want to call this out. Seems like a natural target is 6,750. There's a lot of people, at least at the point that I'm filming this, selling those calls, as in that's going to be a lot of positive gamma, aka resistance. But in the event that that position disappears, or if we overcome it, if the bulls run through that wall, well, man, oh man, there's that shot that things get really crazy. So I wanted to put that on your radar. Obviously, the bulls are clearly dominant, but I did find that one ticker, aka old Tesla, that looks even better. From a technical standpoint, higher highs, higher lows. We had a bullish push, we had consolidation, a long time of consolidation, and then a break and a run. Currently, as I'm filming this, year to date, Tesla's up 18%, which means it's outperforming both the SPY and the Qs, but not that much, but it is still outperforming. From a technical standpoint, beautiful technical breakouts. We got this one from the January high. We are kind of loading up for the next high here at 465. And then from there, the next thing is the all-time high of Tesla. So from a price action and momentum standpoint, we are looking good. From an option standpoint, it's looking even better, because before, when I was referring to that whole negative gamma thing, guess where we already are? We are trying to go all the way into this negative gamma at 470. If we can overcome 475, there's a lot of people betting on 500. All of these, you might be wondering, okay, what's the expiration? And it's actually spread. October monthly, November monthly, December monthly, and January monthly, with the November monthly having the most open interest in these bullish bets. These are not sold calls. These are long calls. That's because of all this negative gamma. That's how we know that they're long calls, as in not just ceiling bets. These are legitimate bullish bets. We see them on all of the monthlies, but uniquely clustered on the November monthlies. So I just want to call that out, that it could happen very, very quickly, but this is a monstrous bet. It is a huge bet. There's a lot of money behind this. And when I start to see this setup, all of a sudden, as it gets closer and closer, remember, those market makers are going to have to hedge out their book by buying more of the underlying, buying Tesla, pushing it higher, causing more people to feel FOMO and YOLO into the position. So they buy calls, meaning that the market makers have to buy more. And you can see how you get this positive feedback loop and you fall down the gamma mountain. So just be looking for that breakout of 470, 475, and then from there, I am very, very much watching 500. Now, I know we've gotten into the technicals, the price action, this, that, the other thing. We haven't spoken about the narrative. If you're curious about that, basically, the market is showing a big appreciation for the fact that the company itself, Tesla, is willing to shell out for its most valuable asset, Elon Musk. Tesla's $1 trillion AI gamble sends stock soaring, but can Musk deliver? So basically pivoting in, well, not really pivoting in, but taking a bigger role in the world of AI, and is Elon Musk the guy who's going to deliver? So right now, there's obviously some excitement, but I do want to let you know, in the very short term, as in by tomorrow morning, I hope you're watching this video in time, Tesla deliveries due, but this is big news for the Tesla bulls. Thursday morning, we are getting Tesla's delivery numbers. If they're good, guess what? It pops. If they're bad, probably drop. So in the short term, I just wanted to call this out, and just in case you're a day trader, scalp trader, for me, I'm in a swing position. Just so you know, I am putting my money where my mouth is. As you can see on the screen now, this is my current live position. I'm not showing it to you for you to copy or anything like that. I've already been in the play for a while. I'm also not showing it to brag. If anything, just on the internet, I find that there's a lot of talking heads, a lot of people who talk the talk but not walk the walk. So not only am I presenting the information, data, stats, facts, and figures to you, but yes, I put my money where my mouth is. This is a $16,000 bet. I'm currently up 100%, as in I'm up $16,000, and I'm just gonna see how far I could ride this particular trend. Anyhoozle, that is where my mind is at on the current state of the market. Obviously, as things develop, I'll make other update videos to let you know as things change, because the situation is obviously very dynamic. I would love to hear from you in a comment below. What are you watching? Do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? Let's work on this problem together. That's what I have for you. I appreciate all the good vibes. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.